We've returned. Brock and I from a weekend storming Area 51. We did it. Brock, it was quite the event that we went to. You were only arrested twice, which was good. The third time I thought was coming, but you negated the officers at Area 51.
Yeah, I did that thing where you run and then you spiral around. And go, whoa. You always look for the fat cop. The fat cop can't catch.
And you had me where I just brought dozens of donuts so we could distract them all. And we stormed it, and we found the aliens that are captured in Area 51. I don't know if anybody followed any of that, but I was intrigued 2 months ago by it.
Rebel Scum Podcast, keeping it topical.
Episode 135. I'm James. This is
Rock.
Yeah, we had a great show for everybody today. 135 of these puppies.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we actually did. There was no break in between. It was like we did an episode last week and we've done another one this week. It's great success.
Yeah, this is weird for us and we're not used to it and what's going on. But here we are.
Yeah.
Here we still are. So it's great times. So we got a great show today. We're going to be talking about Mandalorian, Sheevy P, Palpatine's return, which is of course the Rise of Skywalker. And what else are we talking about today? We have some Holo news. You have Holo news this week?
Oh, you know it.
Yeah, of course. And our top five reasons why Sheevy P Palpatine would have decided to return all of these years after his supposed death.
I'm already over this episode.
And we're talking Reylo.
Reylo.
That way we could put it in the title and get those views going. Actually, did you hear about Did you see Netflix's tweet?
No, I did not.
They tweeted a negative tweet towards Reylo, and they're like, "We don't understand." Like, I can't. They were like, they called it toxic or something. I can't remember. They deleted it because they got the hate.
Wow.
The hate was real on that one.
Well,
dumb move.
Halo people, like, they are staying true to their purpose or their cause. So cool.
Good.
I don't get it. But sell me on it. Girls and Sabers. Change my mind.
They plan to. We actually might be going on one of their live streams soon, Brock. We'll have to talk about that. They want to do a live stream with us where we could talk about Area 51 mostly. They didn't make it to that. We've been in a Twitter GIF war lately. That's what's been going on. So it's not a war. It's just a thread of just GIF after GIF. Or GIF, however you want to describe it. I got to give a shout out to... it was supposed to be a happy birthday 2 months ago to our good friend and viewer Deborah. Her cat Leia was her birthday. Leia means a lot to her. This is like 3 or 4 months old now, but we stopped doing it. And I was like, I'm so sorry, but this is happening. And she was understanding, but I just have to give a shout out to her cat Leia. Leia has been there for her when she needed her. You know how pets are. People, pets are important to people, and got to give a shout out to Leia.
Happy birthday. When I read the rundown, I thought you meant like Princess Leia the character, and I'm like, he does know like that's a fictional character.
False.
Can he figure out her birthday? Like, that's fantastic.
I did the research. I was like, here we go. Got it. Let's go.
Galactic Standard Year of BBY.
We have to tell everybody to like and subscribe. Also, we never do that. Like and subscribe. Also, we're going to do the Road to Mandalorian and the Journey to the Rise of Skywalker. I think we're going to plan on doing like a little weekly blip thing where we're going to determine who is the Mandalorian. Because they say that it'll be shocking when you find out. But I have a question for you, Brock, because I've been thinking about this. Is it going to be like he's going to pull it and be like, and you're like, oh, it's Lando? Or is he going to pull it off and his identity will be more important to the series than to the whole Star Wars saga? What do you think?
This is where I'm stuck. Like, the fact that we know it's Pedro Pascal, right?
Yes.
Not Pablo. Pedro Pascal, who is a great actor. I loved him in Narcos. I loved him in Game of Thrones. He was in that Kingsman movie, the second one. That was pretty cool. He's a good actor, but here's the problem. Like, it's less mysterious to me when I know what he looks like. Of course, he could take it off and he won't look like the handsome Pedro Pascal. So I guess that's a surprise. So I wish they hadn't announced who the Mandalorian was. I get it though. That guy deserves to be announced. We're selling a show. This is your main character. I don't know. It's just in my head every time you ask me this, I'm like, he could be this character or that character. It's like, but it's a new character. It doesn't technically have to be anyone, especially since it's Pedro Pascal, who hasn't been anybody, and it's like, are we recasting someone? I don't know. Like,
I feel like if he's anybody, it'll be somebody from Mandalore that you haven't seen, or like or you know, a descendant of somebody from Mandalore that you might know from the Clone Wars, because in this series Jon Favreau said you're going to know about Mandalore and kind of the history of Mandalore. So they could pull it off where it's, you know, it's just somebody really big, and there's like, this is that person's son, and you're like, oh wow, so he's an important person, and just kind of went on this other path. So we're gonna have fun doing that series. I think we'll just do, I don't know, 5 of them just until the episode starts, and we'll be like, he's definitely, I think, Sebulba, Jar Jar. And my third pick for him obviously has to be Rey's father.
Sure, why not?
Every male cast in any Star Wars from now on is Rey's father.
Well, like the nice thing about Pedro Pascal, when he has that mustache, which is I think always now, he looks like somebody that was in the original Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true.
When he has his long hair and the mustache, he looks like a X-Wing fighter. He looks like Biggs or Wedge or one of those background guys.
Yeah, actually he does. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to talk a lot about Mandalorian. We'll get right into it. Why not? Let's just
Okay.
get into the Mandalorian, because I'm looking forward to it. It starts November 12th, weekly series, which we talked about this last week. I'm excited for weekly series. I'm kind of over binging stuff, to be honest with you. Like, I think it's tough binging, because this summer Stranger Things came out. I like Stranger Things. You like Stranger Things. You're like, I finished it in a weekend. I was like, well, don't talk to me, because I watched, you know, an episode at a time, and I'm like, just stop talking. Whereas weekly, at least we can watch it and be like, oh, what do you think's going to happen next? And that's something that I think is missing from I think Game of Thrones, you know, thrived off of that.
Yeah, very much so. And Disney Plus would be stupid to not try to jump on that, because right now there's no show that's doing that, to my knowledge. Scumbags out there, tell me if I'm wrong, but like, I mean, there's a lot of good shows on. I'm not slamming them, but like, there's nothing to Game of Thrones level or Star Wars level. So,
well, there's Riverdale. Season 4 starting with an episode called In Memoriam for Luke Perry. So,
I'm so trying to get back into that show, and it's a slog.
Andrew Fantasia, I met up with him right before his birthday, and I was like, dude, and I told him season 2 and 3, and he was just like, just stop. Mm-hmm. It gets really. I don't want to say anything. It's just it's all. I look at it and I'm like kids watch they watch this and they must enjoy it on some level, and it baffles my mind because it's quite ridiculous. Like it's out there.
I mean, it is. We gotta remember it's a CW show, and they're very good at that melodrama.
But it's not that anymore. It's like
they're gone. No, that's.
Oh, it gets wild, Brock. You should watch it, because there is something called the Gargoyle King.
This is awesome. That's what I thought they were doing in the first season. Zombies, like Archie zombies, or I forget what it's called.
There's no zombies.
Oh.
But there is the Gargoyle King who... Anyway, it's... Mandalorian, anyway, Riverdale aside, the Mandalorian is coming out November 12th. Very excited. I went on the Disney Plus website, and I whoa, hello, my device is not up to date. Thank you. Everybody that was loud. So I went to the Disney Plus website, and I put in my email and all that.
Oh, right.
They're going to send me updates as to what's going on. And then there was a countdown to it as well, which was kind of cool. So I am logged in there, ready to have access to my 7-day free trial.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that was available yet.
No, it's not.
You haven't paid any monies yet.
No, I don't. I don't get it. I think November 12th is when I could. But it's
No,
the first week is free, is what they're doing. So November 12th to November 8th, 19th will be free.
Oh, that's awesome. That's genius.
Well, Netflix was a month.
Where can I give you my money? Here's my money now.
Yeah. Well, Netflix was a month free, if you remember.
I don't.
It's been so long.
I still have never actually owned a Netflix subscription.
Oh my god.
Watcher.
Wow. Netflix I don't know if it still is, but it was one free month when you first started. I know Crave here in Canada is 7 days as well. So I think 7 days is the new norm, I guess. But I'm excited. Look, they're going to get I think it's $8.99 here, regardless. They're going to get that. So.
Well, irregardless.
No, I'm going to pay for that. It's. Somebody did all the math, and it's like if you buy all the streaming service, it's like $90 American for all the streaming.
Oh wow! I'm gonna pay the full year. I'm in. I am fully invested in this new streaming venture.
What? They did a D23 special where you could get 2 years and the third one free if you did that, but you had to be a founder. I don't know. I'm confident it was not available in Canada, is what I'm saying, because. God forbid we don't have a Barnes and Noble and we can't get the Mandalorian EU cover. So, I'm just bitter about how we get like nothing. It's like yeah. Like,
yeah, but like you said, it's like when you actually get the physical copy, you're missing pictures sometimes. It's not like I think the last 3 times they've done the Vanity Fair shoot, and I've never actually read the articles.
I read the article online.
Online release, right? So.
Yeah, no, the Vanity Fair, I have to say, was quite disappointing. The print quality was garbage, and there was no Knights of Ren picture, which arguably is the one that people were most excited about. Yeah. Aside from the Reylos and stuff like that, Knights of Ren is something that you're like, oh my god, I really want to see that. So it was, you pay, how much was it, $8? $8, $7.99 for this.
16 if you bought both covers.
I bought both. So it was $20 basically, and I was like, where the hell are the pictures? So, unless, of course, they both have different pictures, and I haven't looked at both. I could be completely wrong. But anyway, it's annoying. Anyway, The Mandalorian's coming out, and we know that he's a bounty hunter, and there is a bounty, but nobody knows what the bounty is. Brock, do you think there's any chance that the bounty could be Boba Fett?
Okay, I didn't think of it like that. So maybe is he alive, or are you saying his helmet or a part of?
I'm on the I want Boba Fett to be dead bandwagon. That's where I've always been. Like, he fell in there, just leave him be. But I'm kind of torn now.
I like it. I mean, I can see him as a MacGuffin. I don't know what style. Like I've already said, I think it would be great, even though I'm not a big Boba Fett fanatic. End of the season, it's revealed that somebody is Boba Fett, but I never thought of Boba Fett being the bounty. I like that idea a lot. When you said it, though, I thought maybe some First Order information, or maybe something to do with the New Republic, and that's how it. I could see the Mandalorian. Like a Han Solo getting dragged into good and bad side. How cool would that be if season ends, he's got this information that both sides are trying to go for? Because is the First Order possibly going to be active during this series?
So Favreau, I believe in the Entertainment Weekly, says that or I think Favreau Filoni, you'll see kind of the origins of the First Order. So what's happening now is the Empire has been dissolved for a few years. So the stormtroopers you see are kind of independent contractors, basically, and and I think a lot of the high-ranking officials, they could be bounties as well. Like, there could be members of the New Republic trying to hunt them down, find them, stuff like that. So the First Order, I believe, when it starts, probably will not be a thing, but you might see little threads being placed
kind of
together.
like what we saw in Bloodline with Leia. They're massing all this weaponry and stuff. And actually, in the General Hux Age of Resistance comic, they show sort of his climb in the in First Order and just his relationship with Kylo. And there's a part where he executes someone that was his father's like buddy from the Empire. So it's like there are Empire people going to the First Order, it seems. I think we've already seen that already, but it's nice to see that, like, oh, you know, you can't squash the Empire. They kind of they'll survive somehow.
And Aftermath, I think, has a lot about that in it as well. If you read the Aftermath books, they kind of tell you like a lot of them went to the unknown regions and stuff like that. Jeez, everything is going off right now.
What would you give for a Poe Dameron appearance in Mandalorian?
But he would be like 4.
Oh, is it right after that?
I think it's like 5 or 8 years after Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that's true.
So very high. Imagine if you see like little, I'm Poe and I'm going to be a great fighter pilot. and then his mom was like, no, Poe, we will be the fire that will burn the spark, or whatever the hell it is, between the resistance. And he's like,
care for these trees.
Poe is just like putting on mutinies and like kindergarten and stuff on kids. It's like, damn it, Poe, you can't pull a mutiny on everybody.
Yeah, then I guess because they're gonna want to put stormtroopers in this, right? So maybe it'll be more. Maybe there'll be an episode where he's just hunting down Empire, old Empire agents and stuff like that. So that's how you. I don't know. 5 years later, I don't know. But yeah, Boba Fett. I would love if they brought him back, because like if you can bring him back alive somehow, you can do whatever you want.
I think like Boba Fett could even be a Mandalorian legend by this point. Like he's not Mandalorian, but he wears the armor and he's kind of a legend, and nobody like in that aspect, like who is this mysterious bounty hunter Boba Fett? And I'm curious if maybe the Mandalorian would get, because IG-11 gets mistaken for IG-88, could the Mandalorian be mistaken for Boba Fett at any point in time?
Ooh, that would be wonderful. I mean, we already have Trandoshan, so we got Bosk. Get some Zuckuss and some Dengar. Like, ooh.
Do you think Bosk will show up in this?
I don't know. I would love it, though, but I'm very biased.
Yes, you are. I don't think we're going to see... I think it'd be cool to see Bosk. I'm glad that this is one where we're getting aliens that we recognize, though. I think... You know, everybody argues about whatever they want, but I still think that's something that was sorely lacking in the sequel trilogy. Like it's almost like a different franchise at points. You're like, where's like just throw in a couple aliens you recognize, and we'll be more on board.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was reading articles like, this is the characters we know. It's like the Mandalorian, Cara Dune, whatever. Carl.
Yeah.
Whether his character's name is, he's the bounty hunter leader, and then it's just like it could be this, and then it was like Twi'lek bounty hunter, but no name, and then they're like Bill Burr will always also be in this. And it's like, what is he? Like nobody knows anything, which is like
his bald head is in the trailer.
Oh, Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay,
I was telling somebody about that because currently in Toronto there's Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. So I've been talking about comedians quite a bit recently. And I'm like, he's going to be in the new Star Wars show. And they're like, wait for me. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah, he said it was shot like an old Western. And it's on it's on YouTube. I'll send you the clip. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to find out who Carl Weathers plays. But I can't remember why. I can't remember who he's playing.
He has a name, and I think he's like the leader of the bounty hunter guild, or whatever you want to call it.
He's on Wikipedia, occupation actor, Star Wars work, The Mandalorian, other works of note, Predator, Rocky, Happy Gilmore, Toy Story of Terror, and Toy Story 4.
Toy Story of Terror?
Yeah, that's the Halloween special.
Oh, okay.
Grief Karga. I forgive you for not, the leader of the Bounty Hunter Guild.
Yes, I had it right.
Yes.
That would be great. I don't know. I don't want to say this, but my gut feeling is I don't think they need to explain Mando. But we know that Jon Favreau is a big Star Wars fan, and he was a Mandalorian in Clone Wars, so why not grow on it? He's probably read all those scripts, so he knows it. But again, like, I've watched those episodes. I need to rewatch them, but like, I can't remember all the names. Like, I know Pre Vizsla, but I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he was a villain. I'm pretty sure that was Jon Favreau. Like, I can't I know, like, Sabine, but I can't remember her family's name, right? Like, I know
Ren.
Yeah, well, Ren, but like
House of Ren.
House of Ren, but what was everyone else's name? Because there's like two like important female characters. One was like Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica. I can't remember their names. Everyone's it's Tulip.
Yeah,
Tulip.
You're gonna get the hay mail right now. I can't remember anybody's names at the moment. I'm
old.
old,
but that's what I mean. I love the Mandalorian stuff. It's very interesting. I just can't remember. I can't even remember the queen's name that like Obi-Wan was in love with.
Satine.
Or Satine.
Duchess Satine. Yeah.
Satine.
Maybe the Mandalorian is the love child of Satine and Obi-Wan.
Ooh, I would get behind that. And then they're like, it's the Obi-Wan series.
Yes. That could work.
I don't know yet. But yeah, I am very psyched for this show. I would love to know what oh god, what's his name? Not Nick Nolte. I love to know what his character's gonna be.
He's an Ugnaught.
Is he?
Yeah. I hope he's the one that's on that do-bag or whatever it is in the trailer. I hope that's Nick Nolte. I think that's who he is. Yeah, he's playing an Ugnaught. It's gonna be awesome. Imagine if the Mandalorian is an Ugnaught.
How would that work, James? It opens up and he's just sitting in the chest like this. He's like a Gundam warrior thing.
I don't know how this is a problem. Do you think we could see an Ewok in this series at all?
The which?
Think we'll see an Ewok in this series?
I would love it. I would love any return to Endor.
Yeah.
Need another caravan of courage.
Oof, so good. So, but yeah, I'm excited for the Mandalorian. I think it's going to be a great show. But we're getting it weekly, so I think we should do like weekly recaps of it, and we'll do it like a sports show. We'll be like, oh my god, and this, da 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 da, like that right now.
I know I'm already on board to basically take the day off from work and just watch.
Every day it releases, you're going to take every single one of those days off.
It's doable. I don't know what the release times are. Like maybe like midnight, like Netflix. That would be ideal. We could do one in the morning.
Yeah, we just watched The Mandalorian and just like totally wiped out by the Mando. I'm excited that Dave Filoni is a big part of this as well, because if anybody knows Mandalore, like him, George Lucas, and then you have Jon Favreau, who was a voice of a Mandalorian in Clone Wars. So I think it all works out. Works out there. Let's shift our focus over to the Rise of Skywalker, the movie that everybody wants to hate. It is released December 20th this year. Those are days that I'll be looking to take off of work. I'm really excited for this. I've liked every little bit of footage that I have seen. But one thing, if you remember when The Force Awakens was announced, they said that Domhnall Gleeson was playing Luke Skywalker's son, who was a double agent in the First Order. I just want to talk about, I'm not want to talk about that happening necessarily, but I want to talk about the possibility of Fulcrum, a double agent in the First Order, working for the Resistance in The Rise of Skywalker. Is that plausible to you? You saw it with Callus in Rebels.
Yeah. I mean, does the Fulcrum name go that long? That would be great. I love how they've expanded on that idea with like Cassian, and then now also Sabine, Ahsoka. I mean, we haven't seen Cassian as Fulcrum. It's just a mention that his name was that, so it's like awesome to continue that. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, maybe Richard E. Grant is at the top cracking, but I don't know if it works that way. Cause like, one thing we've never like come across is that there's a double agent for the Resistance in the Empire, which being led by the two strongest Sith Lords in Star Wars history, more or less. So it's like, how is he getting past all of it? That would be an interesting story to see. Like, how did he trick any of them to be? Because I think there's episodes where Vader and Callus are side by side. Like, he can't be that good that he can trick Darth Vader.
I think Callus wasn't at that point a double agent. I don't think it was until like really close to the end. Like when we first saw him, I think that was like when I think it was later on for Callus. That's what I think. I don't know. Because you're right. Like Vader would easily have seen through those lies.
When he gets trapped in the cave with Zeb, he's full Empire. Yeah,
and I think that's part of what triggers him. Like that's what sets him on that downfall. I'm cool. I would like to see it. There's a few things that I want to see in this movie, and I'm really excited. I think we're going to get. I think there will be a lot of fan servicey stuff in this, but I think like I've said this before. There's nothing wrong with some fan service, because that's why we go to the movies as fans. To see the fan service. You don't go to watch a sporting event to see your team lose. Go there to see their team win, to see your best players do what they do best. And so that's what I'm looking forward to the most. And I think that the Rise of Skywalker is going to pull that off on maybe not all cylinders, but on a bunch of them.
Yeah, why not? Like, there's no reason it can't. So,
no.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this movie. I said it before. I could go with no more trailers and be like, oh, amazing.
Oh, absolutely. I'm done with trailers. I already said I've some people have been like, you want a spoiler? I said no. Actually, Josh from the Den of Nerds messaged me this week. He goes, I want to record. He goes, but you're not looking at spoilers. I said no. He goes, oh, well, I want to talk about spoilers, and I said no. I'm not talking about spoilers. I don't want to know spoilers. If you hear a rumor, if you're like, James, I heard this rumor that Luke is actually going to be a werewolf, I'd be like, cool. But if you were like, James, I got the copy of the script, I'd be like, lose my number today. Just like, don't talk to me about it. I don't want to know. I want to go in. I want to watch whatever Lucasfilm and Disney releases, the toys, all of that. Like, so somebody's, I think it was actually our Patreon, Barry. Barry was like, hey, I saw a toy. Are you okay with seeing? I'm like, yeah, you can show me a toy. Because a toy is official license of the thing. So show me that. But if you're like, this Redditor has a picture of this that he took with, some satellite camera that he has access to, I'm like, I don't want that. Like, that is just somebody doing something that I don't need. I want to go in on December 20th and be oohed and awed by everything.
I actually got a text from one of my colleagues at my company saying, Rey, could she be Wedge's daughter, the pilot who survives the first Death Star attack, Hoth second Death Star attack, or am I crazy? And I went, because I was busy. He's like, he survived the movies and wasn't the main. Like, that's impressive. It's like, oh, I know about Wedge. And then I flung my phone across the...
And you're like, no.
He says it would be the true best what a twist moment, and I'm like, get out of my face. But no, yeah, I mean, that would be kind of cool. I don't think people would be psyched about that, but I'm all for bringing back Wedge, even though I believe the actor who plays Wedge doesn't really like Star Wars.
Yeah, but he might like a paycheck.
Yeah, who doesn't?
That's the thing. He might like a paycheck, and they're like, "Well, give us." I thought they were going to use the Aftermath books to kill off Wedge. I was wrong. They didn't. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious to see where it goes. I remember after The Force Awakens came out, I was at the Square One Mall in Saga, and I met up with Andrew Fantasia, and he was like, "You know what I think? I think Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter." And I said, Andrew, we can't be friends anymore. But now I'm feeling like whether or not they're related, I don't know, but there's a connection between those two, probably, is what I'm thinking. Like right. She is attached to Sheevy P in some way, and I'm not sure what it is. And also, she's Han and Leia's love child.
Han and Leia's love child. Can it just be child?
No. Love child. They weren't married when they had her. Does the time make sense? No. Don't ask questions. All right, let's move on to Never Tell Me the Odds.
Never tell me the odds. What are they today, James?
They're brought to us by Patreon.
Patreon.
Today's Patreon providers are, thank you everybody that does support us on Patreon. It means a lot. If you would like to help Brock and I out, tell all these great podcasts, and actually maybe we'll one day get the budget to drive to Niagara Falls, United States of America, and go to a Barnes & Noble and pick up an Entertainment Weekly with the Mandalorian cover. You can do so at patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. And the Patrons they are Heidi Fetter, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Christine Allison, Mary Kristenathan, Jeff Wilson, Aaron Quinton, Al Schuler, Phil Staniforth,
JRB Nerdcast, Scott D, Jacob Nixon, Andy Higgins, Mason Hope, Matt W, Tony Comstock, FP, and the spoiler talking Den of Nerds. Thank you very much.
Although judging by his subscriber count, maybe we should just do all spoilers.
Nah, fam.
We either do spoilers or we just completely hate Star Wars. You pick.
I'll steal this saying from the Doughboys podcast. The Rebel Scum cannot be bought.
No, we can't. We've been bought many a time.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah, man. We cannot be bought. We will do spoilers. Nah, fam.
No. I don't. But I actually... Are you looking at spoilers at all? Like, are you like into that, or, huh?
I almost looked at one when I was looking up the news, and I'm like, I was even there was one talking about, I can't remember what it was. Obviously there's stuff about Palpatine, but there was something, and I read it for a bit, and I'm just like, this is all hearsay. This is all hearsay. I will say this, not in the news. Fallen Order, the new Star Wars game. Fallen Order?
Yep.
People are excited about it. They're like, this could bring back Star Wars video games, apparently. But
wait, I was thinking about that the other day too, because I was at the store and there's Fortnite. There's Fortnite figures everywhere. I was at EB Games and they had this Funko Pop, like the size of my torso, of something from Fortnite. I'm not sure what Fortnite is. It's a first-person shooter thingy, mabobber. And I was just, is that Fortnite right there?
No, it's just...
Oh my god, that's Wicked with a... Oh, people listening to this are not going to get it.
The size?
I want that Wicked. But I was just thinking, like, why is Fortnite? Why wasn't Star Wars able to cash in on and do, like, how has that not happened for any other property, essentially? If, like, the biggest thing on the planet is Fortnite, how has nobody cashed in on that?
Well, it's like, you know what made Fortnite a success? They were able to make it, like, cartoonified, so, like, younger kids could play it. Because there was, like, Public Enemy Battlegrounds that came out first, which was the same idea, like a Battle Royale game. But then Fortnite came out right after and was free for like at least a year. I downloaded it because I'm like, oh, here it is. But it was free. You had to pay for PUBG. And people were like, oh, Fortnite's just a PUBG clone. That's Public Enemy Battlegrounds.
I don't know what any of you're saying is, but go on.
Anyways, like, it became big, and then they did all those emotes with all the dancing. That's why, you know, flossing is a thing, and the Carlton's a thing, and the Orange Justice is a thing. It's all from that game. So it's not only a game, it's also like creating dance trends. Like working at the Sky Dome, I see it every day. These kids just boop, 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 boop. So that was it. They just copied an old idea and were able to give it to little kids, which is like, I don't know. It's violent, but it's not graphic, I guess. I haven't played it, so I shouldn't really critique.
It's brilliant. I mean, it's weird because I'm not playing it, but I got Overwatch because it was cartoony looking, and I was like, ooh, I want to play this. Shoot 'em up.
But I see your point. Like, Battlefront is basically the same idea. It's like shoot till you're the team that's not dead. And
I showed you a picture of those new Star Wars action figures that are being released that are clearly geared towards children.
Yeah.
Why not make a Star Wars game look like Lego Star Wars is huge? Why not make a Star Wars game like Fortnite in that style of those toys that like those cartoony kind of, you know, I don't know. the Star Wars video game is yes, Fallen Order hopefully will revive it, and I hope it's fun. I'm worried that I'm not gonna like it because I'm not. Those games are really hard on me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it. Obviously, I'm gonna try. And Andrew's probably will say it's too short, and it'll be like 14 hours long. But I guess too short. How long are video games now? 100 hours? It'll be like 99 hours. It'll be too short for him. For me, I'm good with like Super Mario 3 warp zones. I need the warp zone. Someone's like, "Oh, you use warp zones?" I'm like, yeah. Otherwise, you're playing forever. Yeah. Like, you know, yes, on the new like minis and stuff, you can pause, and on the Switch, you could pause. But back when I was a kid, you couldn't pause, so I still play with that mentality of no pause.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it funny when I'm saving something, and I'm like, if I turn off my Switch, it'll just pick up exactly where I was. As long as I don't take the game out, it's all good.
It's such a weird era. Kids are spoiled. All right, never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds, James.
I just think that they should really make a Fortnite Star Wars style game. That's all. Our first the odds of Hayden Christensen appearing in the Rise of Skywalker.
This is, I think, the person I want the most to come back.
Yes, me too.
I would love Obi-Wan in some form, but Anakin would be really cool. I'm gonna go 80%, James.
Ooh, that's nice. I think it was a little bit of a missed opportunity to not have him in The Last Jedi. Especially when you have Yoda showing up. I still understand Rian Johnson's point about Obi-Wan, how it's tough because you have Ewan McGregor alive, but we associate, Force Ghost Obi-Wan with Alec Guinness. Yeah. So it is a little tough. You could obviously do it, but I kind of get his point there. I think Anakin was a little bit of a missed opportunity in that one. At the same time, the scene's fine without him. But I'm going to go 79.9%.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. This is right rules almost.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't show up, I could be like, well, you were higher than me, Brock. I want him to show up. I think it makes sense. It's called the Rise of Skywalker. He is like the Skywalker. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It just, I think we did this odd in the last one, and we both might have been high for that. I can't remember, but. The odds of Leia using the Force in the Rise of Skywalker.
I think that would be cool. I keep saying every time I see her in a trailer, it's like they're in some kind of Force stream or Force dimension. And I'm like, the character's not dead yet, even though that's what we expect to happen. I don't know. I hope not. This is a moment where reality and fiction tend to blend over, and I get confused. Carrie Fisher is a person. Leia is a character. I want to say, if we're talking fan service, I want to say 75%.
I think she's going to use the Force 98%.
Wow.
She used it in Last Jedi, technically.
Yeah.
So they already established it. So I'm going to go very high. I think they're going to. Like I said, I think we're going to get fan service, and I think part of the fan service is showing us Leia doing something wild with the Force. Yeah. I don't think I don't want her to be a powerful Force user like Palpatine or Luke or Yoda, and she's like, I found, I have the ability to float in space and I can lift this rock.
Yeah. Because in the movies, you don't really. Everyone just seems to be the most powerful. Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't think that works. Do you think? I was just thinking about this too. Like in Bloodline. It comes out like Vader's her father. And I was thinking about this. Isn't that kind of weird? Like, you have an empire, and the emperor is Emperor Sheevy Palpatine. Right? He's not Darth Sidious. He's Sheevy Palpatine. And his right-hand man is Darth Vader, who, if you looked at the old history books, would tell you he's an old ancient Sith. So there would be people like, he's a Sith Lord. Don't you think? I kind of thought that Vader was more hidden in like the shadows. Like people didn't really know he existed. Like he was more like a myth. Like, oh, Vader's gonna come and get you. Like there's no such thing as a Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just thought that was weird. And Claudia Gray is great. Not knocking Claudia Gray. Just the idea that everybody would kind of understand that Vader. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I think yesterday. I'm like, that's weird.
The original movies always play up the idea of like the Jedi are archaic, even though it was like 20 years prior that they were active, and like Like people have, the Emperor has done something that he's just erased them from the galaxy to the point that they're a myth. They're not real. No one's just like, oh, there's no such thing. Like there's no such thing as the Force.
I
Like,
can't get over that wicket on your desk right
it's worth it. Target, of course.
Yeah, I got to go there and get one. Do they still sell them?
Noble, James. I could bring you to a Barnes and Noble. We could be there. If you were at my house, we could be there in less than 2 hours.
With traffic? I don't know.
Where we go, we don't need roads.
I do want that wicket though. That wicket is, it's just compared to the small one, it doesn't even hold. Like it's
They're
like
the same series.
Oh my god.
But he's holding.
I would have brought that to Ewoks on Ice when I saw them. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, that was 30 years ago.
Still would have brought it. And our final odd is from Dennis Allen. The odds of the Rise of Skywalker, the whole saga ending without Reylo. His odd was 65%. He was high on Reylo not happening. I will say this, Brock, while you think of the number here. I think they're in a bit of a pickle when it comes to this now because there is so much it must happen out there, and then there's so much hate for it, which Netflix can tell you about, that they're like, whatever they do is kind of like, oof. So I think we're going to get something down the middle. No definitive answer on it at all. I'm going to go full Brock myself on the saga ending without Reylo.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go full Brock as well. Full Brock times 2. 100% it's not going to happen. Come at me, bros. Come at me, girls with sabers.
I'm gonna send them just that clip. And they will come after you, and they'll have an essay for you as well.
Oh, great!
And you're gonna come out of that meeting, video, whatever it is, like full blown Reylo-lite. You're gonna be like Reylo and have like pom poms. You'll be cheering it with have a Reylo T-shirt. I guarantee they've got a good sell on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Here, some comparison to John Milton's Paradise Lost. One more time. No, I'm just joking. I like when they compare it back to like modern literature, classic literature.
Look, they do a lot more research than we do on everything. Let's just call it what it is. I write notes, you write notes, and we talk for an hour.
I find the news 5 minutes before we go on the air.
Sometimes it's from last year. Battlefront 2 is coming out in November. Speaking of the news, Hollow news. You're up.
Hello. Welcome to the time where I talk news. Okay. Last month it was announced that Marvel Comics flagship Star Wars title, the one I talk about constantly, will be that started in 2015, will end in its 75th issue in November. This is because they are vastly approaching them, the Rebels, finding their new base on Hoth. The last book that came out recently, I think there's a new one now, I haven't read it yet. They are like, we have 4 planets we can pick from. One of them they say is Hoth. So we'll end with that in issue 75, and there will be a special called, where is it here? Star Wars. Oh my goodness. See how prepared I am? Empire Ascendant, which I think will be a one-off, sort of showing them setting up Hoth, which I'm very excited for, because it would be nice to see what their life was like and how the Empire got to Hoth. I feel like there was something that explained that once. But we will see. It will address the fates of Dr. Aphra and Baylor Valance, who have been characters brought into this series. Baylor Valance, we haven't really talked about much. He was a villain in the original Marvel Star Wars series before they sold it to Dark Horse. And they never finished the series. They just recently put out the last issue where they show what happens to him, and now they've stuck him into new canon in the series Target Vader, which is very good, has Dengar in it, so we'll see the fate of that. Hopefully he gets to continue on, because and I like Dr. Aphra. I like what they've done with her, but we will have Empire Ascended as the end of the Star Wars era, but of course, I'm sure we're going to get a new series because Star Wars makes that money, so they'd be silly to not go past Empire Strikes Back and start talking about what's happening in between. Perhaps we get a new retelling of Shadows of the Empire, James. I don't know. There will also be a miniseries called Star Wars: The Rise of Kylo Ren dropping in December. And perhaps we will get our Empire Strikes Back series in 2020. I took to Twitter this week, and the Twitter feed Star Wars Direct showed a new poster for Rise of Skywalker, showing mostly First Order. Very, very cool. If you're a First Order fanatic, you get a really good close-up of Kylo Ren's mask. It's, as we saw in the trailer, he welds it back together, or whatever you do to put metal together in the Star Wars, and you can really see a detailed look at it. We also see Sith troopers, the newly announced jet troopers, which also come in white and red, and of course the Knights of Ren. So go to @StarWars #Direct and check that poster out. And while you're there, why don't you scroll down and see there's a new announcement for the Rise of the Skywalker's pops. They've been sort of shown prior to this. I'm pretty sure I've seen the I think it was at a toy fair or a toy convention that showed the Lando and the Janna and the Zori. But now we're seeing there's a Dio pop, there's a Jet Trooper, the white kind, the Sith Trooper, and the Sith Jet Trooper. I don't know the difference, James, but they're looking pretty cool. Then there's a new Rose Tico in her new uniform. I don't know do we have any information on Rose? But they will also, that series will also include, as I said, Lando, Rey, Kylo, BB-8, Zori, Janna, Finn, and my favorite, Poe Dameron as Indiana Jones.
So wait, which ones will you be picking up?
I don't know, man. I love the Star Wars pops, and I hate the Star Wars pops. You know me. You can see I love Stormtroopers, so it's like I'm really tempted to get the Sith ones, but none of them have really popped out at me. Maybe the Jet Trooper, because it's like cool.
I'm curious about Dio.
Yeah.
I have a couple cool BB-8s. I'm over BB-8. I might get a Rey and Kylo because I have the Rey and Kylo wall in my house. Janna, I'm excited for the character, not so much the pop. How's that?
Oh yeah, no, Zori and Janna, I want to know everything about. But
yeah,
will I check them out when they're on the shelves? You betcha. And this has been your Hollow News.
Hollow News.
Hi.
Top 5.
Top 5. Talking about top 5.
Today's top 5 is brought to us by Side Scroller. I still don't have it in front of me, so I can't show it. Go buy Side Scroller. Also check out Heidi Fetter's book, also at lulu.com. She has 3 of them up there. But don't get Andrew's, actually.
He's got some sexy stuff.
He's got some. Rose, yeah, you mentioned that we don't really know anything about Rose. That's true. I don't know anything about Rose. I'm curious what they're going to do with that character. I hope that they give her something better to do than Canto Bite stuff, where you're like, well, shoot. I believe she'll only be in 25% of the movie.
Yeah.
Tops. Luke, 15%. Leia, 87%. No. 75%. No. 50%.
It's too bad too, because like stuff they've done with Rose in comics and books, like, and her sister Paige, like they've shown both of them, and like they're interesting characters. Like, oh, there could be more to them. Like, we'll see.
I hope they have something fun to do. All right, today's top 5. Top 5 reasons Sheevy P made his return in The Rise of Skywalker. Why did Sheevy P return in Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker? My number 5 is to regain unlimited power.
Mine is revenge.
Is that all 5 of yours? Do you think there'll be like an explanation for survival? Like, I was thrown down a shaft and I survived.
Yeah.
And then I
was some of my reasons.
Number 4, to witness the marriage of his granddaughter Rey. He wants to walk her down the aisle.
Now the wedding is complete. My number 4 is. Oh crap! I kind of screwed it because his plan is now complete.
My number 3, to bring back the rule of 2 with the grandson of Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, and Stimpy.
Number 3, he's a clone. I don't know. I hate this.
That hasn't been, that's been thrown around. He is a clone. We were, these. Okay. Number 2. I'm on 2. Am I on 2? To use Rey and Kylo as his son and daughter, and for him to become the father and take over Mortis.
Oh. Yeah, I would like that.
That would never happen in a million years. Mortis in episode. Oh, by the way, Mortis.
Mortis. What is that?
All right, then your parents are like, "What are we watching, Brock?" And you're like, "Well, let me tell you."
Let me show you 10 episodes of Clone Wars.
Yeah, seriously.
My number 2 is he's not dead and he has been waiting.
That's where I'm leaning. But why did he just be like, "I will wait here"? Like, was he a slug?
Yeah.
I'm wondering. Do you think he'll have like Darth Maul legs, like robotic spider legs when he?
The Star Bridge from Rebels, and it's a past. That'd be too confusing.
It is what it is. It's Star Wars. It's always confusing. Is it?
What's your number 1, James?
My number 1. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. My number 1. Look, perfect timing. He wants to visit Galaxy's Edge. That's number 1.
My number 1 is Ian McDiarmid needs to pay for his summer home.
Big time number 1's right there. Let us know why you guys believe Darth Sidious Emperor Palpatine made his return 20 years, 30 years, whatever it's been since his demise in Return of the Jedi. I hope we get a cool explanation. I'm worried it'll be nonsense. I'm honestly worried it'll be like, I fell down the shaft and I waited until the right moment. Like, that's what I'm worried. Or they won't say anything and he'll be just like, yeah, I'm the Emperor.
Do you think he fell down the shaft like Homer falls down the cliff in that one episode of The Simpsons?
Just keeps going.
I feel like that's something like Robot Chicken probably did.
They probably did. That's good. But you mentioned in the Kylo Ren comic that they kind of show you that there was a way to fall but catch yourself before you hit the ground.
Yes, yeah. So that's why people are like, oh, the Emperor could do that. Like, could he?
No, definitely not. This has been the 135th episode of the Rebel Scum podcast. It's been a lot of fun. We'll be back. Are we doing this again next week?
I guess.
On the next week, we'll do top 5 reasons Luke will return as a Force Ghost in episode 9. Anyway, I'm James. You're
Brock.
This has been the Rebel Scum podcast. And like we like to end the show, Brock, because I screwed this one up. You were always scum.
Mandalorian scum. That's a thing we talked about.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.